Happy New Year, everyone. Matt here from the Heritage Volunteering Group. It's great to be back with you for recommended reads. We start 2023 with a story about a penguin, a very insightful penguin who one day notices that the iceberg that he and his friends live on is melting. Sadly, no one will believe him. That is, except for the colony leader, Alice. And with Alice's help, the penguin is able to lead the colony on an 8-step process of change that leads them to a new, safer iceberg, saving everyone's life in the process. Our Iceberg is Melting by John Cotter is a great book on leading change. And not only is it hugely informative, but it's also got lots of lovely pictures in it as well. As a network, we often hear volunteer managers complaining that no one listens to their ideas, that they can't implement the policies and processes they want to, and it can be impossible to get anything done. If that sounds like you, then this is an absolute must read. Through this entertaining parable, Cotter sets out 8 steps that lead to meaningful change. So creating a sense of urgency, that means making people aware of the change that needs to happen and why it's important. That might be why you need a new volunteering strategy in order to unlock the power of volunteering in your organisation, or that you need to introduce an expenses policy because if you don't, then volunteers are going to leave. Next, it's about building a guiding coalition. So you need to gain the support of key stakeholders in your organisation who are going to help you drive change. You can't play a symphony on your own. It takes an orchestra, and it's the same with change. You can't deliver it all on your own. You're going to need help. Step number 3 is form a strategic vision. So this means working with your guiding coalition to create a vision for the future, be that a vision for what your organisation will look like with this new volunteering strategy, or how the programme will function better with a new expenses policy. Once you've done that, you need to enlist a volunteer army of people from across your organisation who are going to help you implement the change that needs to happen. That might be your volunteer supervisors to help you deliver your strategy, or it might be your finance team to make the changes you need to happen in order to implement your new expenses policy. Step number 5 is enable action by removing barriers. And this might be changing processes to make sure that they properly support your strategy, or just making it easier for people to submit an expenses claim. And then you move on to stage number 6, which is about generating quick wins. And these are the little successes that nudge you towards your end goal. They're the fuel in the engine, really. They're the successes that are going to keep you going when the times get tough. And these quick wins can be absolutely anything. So it might be those little policies that you're introducing that are nudging you towards achieving your vision, or it might be about reintroducing petty cash in order to more effectively pay volunteer expenses. Then it's a case of keeping it going. Stage number 6, sustain change. Change is really, really hard, and it can take a long time. The bigger the change that you want to make, the harder it's going to be. So you're going to need to hang in there. And we all go through tough times when we're delivering change. And one of the great things about our Iceberg is Melting is that the penguin went through tough times when he was trying to get the colony to move to a new iceberg. You're going to have to go through those times as well, but we've all been there, and you've just got to stick with it, because when you get there, it is going to be really, really rewarding for you and your organisation and your volunteers. Step number 8 is about implementing change. So demonstrating to others the impact of the change that you've made. So how this new strategy that you've created is better supporting your organisation, or how volunteers haven't stopped volunteering because you now reimburse their expenses. Easy. 8 steps. Nice and simple. Well, not quite. As I've said, leading change is really hard and it can take time, but it's absolutely worth it. So stick with it, follow the model, and your volunteers and your organisation will benefit. And hey, you might just stop the iceberg from melting as well. Well, we hope you enjoyed Our Iceberg is Melting, and that you'll join us again next month for another recommended read. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with your colleagues. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. See ya.